All right, class. Welcome to part 2 of the 3.2D lesson video. And let's now get into the kind of the meat of the lesson, if you will, or the main course, whatever you want to think of it. But let's now start practicing with a lot of algebra, right? A lot of algebraic calculation. Write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form that satisfy the given requirements. Show all of your work. Okay, so we really have to be comfortable with the concepts of parallel and perpendicular. I'm going to go ahead and write down kind of like what we need to know again. Parallel means the same slope. And then perpendicular, right? Please write this down so you can have this on your in your notes. Perpendicular means opposite reciprocal slopes. Right? That's the definition of two lines that are perpendicular. They have opposite, one being positive, one being negative, and they have reciprocal. So slopes, which means they have to be the flipped versions of one another. Okay, so if we know it's parallel to y equals negative 1/4 x plus 2, we know that the slope has to be negative 1/4, and we know that it has the point of negative 6, 3. So we definitely are capable of calculating the equation of this new line, right? Go ahead and plug this into x, plug this into y, and plug this into m. Okay, so then I get, if I plug it into slope-intercept form, I get 3 is equal to negative 1/4 times negative 6 plus b, right? And make sure your b and your 6 don't look exactly the same. We get 3 is equal to negative 1/4 times negative 6 is that 6/4, which is positive 3/2 plus b, right? And 3 really is just 6/2. So if 3 is 6/2, which I'll write over here, 6/2 is equal to 3/2 plus, well, we kind of know that b has to be 3/2, right? So I'm going to write my answer in sky blue. I now know that the new equation would have to have the same slope, negative 1/4. And it also has to have a b value of 3/2. Now notice this is in slope-intercept form. This second half of this page asks for equations in standard form. And obviously we can fix this and make this standard form. Okay, let's try something like number 19. It has to be perpendicular to a horizontal line. And basically, if something perpendicular to y equals has to be an isolated x, right? A perpendicular line to a horizontal line must be vertical, right? This is really, really important, right? The only way you can be perpendicular to a horizontal line is if you yourself are vertical. And if it's supposed to be vertical and it has to pass through this x negative 4 value, obviously it has a value of 5, but basically x has to equal negative 4 as your vertical line, because it has to pass through that point and it has to be a vertical line. Okay, let's try one of these questions on the bottom. 23. Actually, no, 24. 24 is a question that we just did. Okay. Actually, yeah, these are all pretty straightforward. I think this is really, really good practice. Let's just try one. Let's do 22, right? Parallel to y minus 4 equals 1/2 x plus 9. Now, although we didn't even distribute this, we realized, class, that the m value is going to be 1/2. So we know that it's parallel. I wish this said perpendicular, which we could also do a perpendicular question. But right now, this is parallel, so we're going to stick with this. It's parallel, so it has the same slope. Now, it also has this 0.1, 8. So really, this is just a practice mode, right? We're practicing how to calculate the equation of the line if given a point and given an m value, obviously. Now, again, what we're doing is we plug into y equals mx plus b, and we get 8 is equal to 1/2 times 1 plus b. Now, because this is a half, I'm going to make the 8 16 halves is equal to 1/2 plus b. And you can see that b is going to equal 15 halves. And once I calculate b, I then have enough information to write the equation of the line in slope-intercept or standard. Now, I'm going to write it in slope-intercept first, but then I'm going to convert this to standard form, right? So this is not the final answer this time. I have to keep going. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply by a certain value that will really, really make my life a lot easier. Does anyone know what the value is? If you said -2, that would be very, very wise, right? What you're going to do is you're going to make this value negative on the x and then bring it over to the other side, right? Make sure you do to give the -2 value to everything. So you get -2y is equal to -x, right? 1/2 times -2 is x, but it is negative. It just creates a hole that's negative. And then minus 15. And you can say, like, wait, Mr. Kuo, what are you doing? You're making all the terms negative. Well, remember that standard form? The only value that cannot be negative is the leading coefficient of x, right? The first coefficient. And we end up getting x minus 2y is equal to -15 as our final answer. Okay, so a lot of subtle tendencies you want to have, but I hope that all made sense. And let's continue discussing in class. Thanks for watching.